Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big decision to make. Are we going to buy Pokemon Scarlet or Violet? We got 3 minutes to decide.
With Pokemon Scarlet and Violet releasing this week and a whole new region to explore.
I like it. Speed it up. Okay, maybe that's a little too fast. Let's go. Don't buy either? What do you mean?
Explore. It's safe to say we're pretty darn excited to dive in and begin our adventure. However, before
first ever open world Pokemon?
In traditional Pokemon fashion, while the core game remains largely the same, each version does carry its own
core game. We've never played a core game where you walk around in open world.
Exclusives, mainly Pokemon, of course, but also a few other things here and there. So we're just days away from.
Is this the first main Pokemon that's open world?
And if you're wondering which version is right for you, then we've got you covered here in this video. Also, while there have been many leaks ahead of launch, in this video we're going to focus primarily on what has been officially revealed by the Pokemon Company. And near the end of the video, we'll give you a heads up on one of the key exclusive themes that these games may have that influence your purchase decision. But don't worry, we'll warn you before we get to that part. So
no, Dratini, yes, chat. We actually know. We should do a quiz before we go into this. I feel like we should do a quiz before we go into it. I feel like we know like 50% of all Pokemon.
Enjoyed this video and you do find it helpful, be sure to drop a like down below because it really does help us out. And put in the comments to let us know which version you're planning on getting.
I've never seen the movie, but
be sure to drop a like down below because it really does help us out. And put in the comments to
that looks like Team America to me. Is that what the aesthetic they're going for? I've never seen Team America, but why in chat if you think that looks like Team America, and in chat if no? A little bit. Okay. Chad, does that movie hold up? Why in chat if we should watch Team America, and in chat if no? No? Not on the channel. I'm saying just off camera.
Let us know which version you're planning on getting, Scarlet or Violet. Also, make sure to subscribe to stay tuned.
That's why we're watching this video. We are trying to find out which one we want to buy.
Your way once the game releases, so you won't want to miss out. Let's jump into it first with the Rhydon Pokemon. To begin with, the most notable version exclusives are, of course, Koraidon and Miraidon. The legendary.
Are those real Pokemon, or did they just make them up for the game? Koraidon and Miraidon? Also, they're from How to Train Your Dragon.
Pokemon that you'll be spending a significant amount of time riding within game once you catch them. Your purchase decision of getting Scarlet or Violet will determine which of these.
They're motorcycles? Motorcycles?
Ooh, that is new tech.
I don't understand this video. Is there a sales pitch and diorama?
I know. Can we just get a diorama of which one to buy?
You get, and it will be pretty big because you're going to be using these to navigate.
Wait. Come on. I'm just telling. I'm releasing a bias. We're leaning towards Scarlet until one is a motorcycle, the other is a galloping finch.
Of getting Scarlet or Violet will determine which of these two Pokemon you get, and it will be pretty big because
why is that not the same?
You're going to be using these to navigate the game world for basically your whole run-through. Of course, like most Pokemon games, trading is a thing, but when it comes to Koraidon and Miraidon, you're going to be stuck riding the one that corresponds to your version of the game. So essentially, if you want to ride around the majority of the time on a futuristic purple-looking motorbike, then you're going to want to grab Miraidon from Pokemon Violet. Meanwhile, if you want to look cool riding a red dragon with wheels that don't technically function, then you're going to want to get Pokemon Scarlet.
That's tough. That right now, the scales were biased. Now they're even right now.
Because that will give you Koraidon. So picking which one of these you prefer is going to be a big decision factor in which game you pick.
Also, the spikies are better than the loopies.
But up next, we also have to talk about the difference in the school uniforms and the schools within the game. While Pokemon Scarlet and Violet both have customization within the game, which allow you to buy cool clothes and customize your trainer, you will also have your school uniform that you begin the game with. And this uniform also changes depending on the season. In Pokemon Scarlet, you have a reddy-orange uniform. Meanwhile, in Pokemon Violet, you have, well, a violet one. And this also extends to the school crest as well. So if you are particularly fond of the
ooh, one produces wine, the grapes of wrath on the right, and the other produces wheel peaches. Nanjaranja. Yo, that's Spanish. How do you say orange? ¿Cómo se dice orange in español? Nanjaranja. I want it.
School uniform that you might see yourself wearing for quite some time within the game, then maybe that will influence your choice on which one you pick up. And next up, although it may not be as significant as the previous options, it's still going to matter, especially if your choice of professor does impact your ability to enjoy the game. This is because the two different versions, in fact, have two different professors that you will.
Who's the professor on the left? I'm just asking for research purposes. I know on the right, that's Professor Oak's on the right. Who's on the left? I don't know. I know Professor Oak's on the right. Who's on the left? We don't know. Professor Mommy
will have within the game. Pokemon Scarlet has Professor Sada, meanwhile Pokemon Violet has
Sada.
Professor Toro. So this will be another factor in your choice. But next up is probably the biggest determining factor for many people, the version-exclusive Pokemon. It's pretty much without question the most important factor when deciding which game to pick. Now in this section, we're not going to go over in detail all of the Pokemon or their types.
Why not? That's the point of why we're watching this video. Whooper. Real quick, chat. Do we have to buy both versions to get all Pokemon, or can we trade? Can we trade the ones that are not exclusive?
We're just going to quickly go through the list so you know what's in your version. And it's worth
Whooper.
noting that these Pokemon have been ones that have been revealed
You can trade, okay.
officially in trailers and the like. But if you are planning to play the game
Fido? We have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure we get Fido.
completely dark, then I do wonder why you're watching this video, but if for some reason you're still here, then take note because there will be mention of a few
Sea Titan, not a real Pokemon.
Pokemon. A quick pre-warning, my Pokemon name pronunciation isn't quite the best, so
Hey, look. Who is this? Rex Gaming? Rex Gaming? Look, don't worry about that. It's
I
overrated.
do apologize if some of these names aren't said correctly.
Fukacha?
Anyway, let's start off
Isn't that a type of bread? I like this guy.
with the version exclusives Pokemon Scarlet,
Quaxley?
and we have Armorogue, Stonejourner, Oranguru, Stunky, Skuntank,
Yo, I'll tell you what. I was playing Pokemon Go and I saw Oranguru and I was like,
Holy bitch!
how do they get away with this? How do they get away with that?
Drifloon, Drifblim,
Those are literally the same.
Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar, Dano, Svilaus, Hydreigon, Skrelp, Draglaig, and Miraidon. Meanwhile, if you want to pick up Pokemon Violet, then you're
Okay, so that was red version. Let's look at these again. This is important, chat. We're probably gonna have to vote on this. There's gonna be a big vote on this.
Tyranitar, Dano, Svilaus, Hydreigon, Skrelp, Draglaig, and Miraidon.
Okay, just show me the picture.
Svilaus, Hydreigon, Skrelp, Draglaig,
Okay, this is definitely the leader right there. That's the leader of all of them right there. Aranjuru.
and Miraidon. Meanwhile, if you want to pick up Pokemon Violet, then you'll have the following version exclusives: Ceruledge, Eiscue, Passimian,
Literally just an ice cube. Literally just an ice cube. That's not real. These are not real.
Dolphin, Swalot,
I've seen Dolphin on Pokemon Go, so it's real.
Misdreavus, Miss Malgus,
I've seen Misdreavus. I've seen those two in Pokemon Go,
Dragon,
real.
Shelgon, Salamence,
Salaminkus?
Creepy, Dragloak, Dragapult, Clauncher, Clawlitz,
I'd say they're. I mean, that to me, that's not a shift, right? To me, it's like one half dozen and one baker's dozen in another.
and Koraidon. One thing we do know is that the Dragon-type Pokemon can quite often be the key selling points. Personally, we're a big fan of Tyranitar and Dragapult, so I'm a little at odds here on which one to pick. However, there is one more thing. One new mechanic introduced in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that also ties into not only the version exclusive, but also the overall theming of the games. You see, Pokemon Scarlet is much more about the past or ancient times, while Pokemon Violet is more futuristic. You probably noticed that in the legendary Pokemon designs, but it also extends further into something called the Paradox Pokemon. Now, before we go any further, we're not going to be showing any images here since this is something you need to discover for yourself. But I do want to tell you what Pokemon the Paradoxes
What's Paradox?
are based on and the overall theming so you can better
If Paradox is like Pokemon will actually recognize, we're going that route. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter.
make up your mind. You see, Paradox Pokemon are essentially old, existing Pokemon, but with new designs, new typings and new Pokedex numbers, and their designs are either ancient in Pokemon Scarlet or futuristic
What do you mean new designs?
in Pokemon Violet. In an official Pokemon trailer, we have actually got a glimpse at one of these, the Pokemon Donphan. It has an ancient design in Pokemon Scarlet called Great Tusk, which we've already seen teased, and a futuristic design called Iron Treads. Beyond that, however, the differences are as follows. If you have Pokemon
Are they like Evolve? I don't understand.
Scarlet, you'll be able to get the following ancient Paradox Pokemon. A grass dark type that's based on a Moongus called Brute Bonnet, a
Among Us?
Ghost Fairy type based on Misdreavus called Fluttermane, a Dragon Dark type based on Salamence called Roaring Moon, an Electric Ground type based on Magneton called Sandy Shocks, a Fairy Psychic type based on Jigglypuff called Screamtail, and finally a Fighting type based on Volcarona called Slitherwing. Meanwhile, if you get Pokemon Violet, you'll have access to the following future Paradox Pokemon. An ancient Water type based on Delibird called Iron Bundle,
These even look, these aren't, it's not even a real language. Delibird? What does he do? Slice up corned beef?
a Fighting Electric type based on Hariyama called Iron Hands,
I know Hariyama.
a Dark Flying type based on Hydreigon called Iron Jugulis, a Fire Poison type based on Volcarona called Iron Moth, a Rock Electric type based on Tyranitar called Iron Thorns, and a Fairy Fighting type based on Gallade and Gardevoir called Iron Valiant. And while we won't be showing you the images for these, for the ancient Pokemon, you can think more nature, overgrown, or organic looking Pokemon. Meanwhile, for the future Pokemon, think of metal and giant robots and that kind of vibe. But with all of that covered, those are the things you need to know about the two different versions. So now the question is, which version are you planning to get? Tell us
That's tough.
down below in the comments. And make sure to click like down below to show support for the video because it really does help. And subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on all
Chat, okay. I don't know why you keep disappearing. But so let's take a look at the comments and then we'll call for a vote here. I want Scarlet because sad as mommy. I was at the first comment. Okay. S in chat for Scarlet, V in chat for Violet. I could go either way, to be honest. S for mommy. Scarlet won with 57%.
V in chat.
All right, so we're gonna get Scarlet. There you go. There, what version are we gonna get? That's the version we're gonna get right there. We're gonna get Scarlet. We're gonna go into GameStop. I'll post a picture on Instagram, and we'll have a challenge for this. I don't know how long. How many Pokemon are in this game? How many Pokemon are in this game? You got Violet. You already have it. How do you already have it? You live in Canada. No disrespect. 1,400. Okay. It's good Pokemon. Not all are in it. They took a lot out. Is there all Series 1 Pokemon in it? All right, let's try this Warzone stuff.